All right, what's going on? What's going on? My name is Ugo Opara, PA licensed real estate agent and Philadelphia-based real estate investor. As always, I want to thank all of you kings and queens for watching and tuning in and supporting the channel and asking the questions and supporting the growth. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what I want to start doing a lot more of is answering questions, and not just in the inbox or in a DM or whatever the case may be, but also taking a question and then answering it and putting on a platform so everyone can see what the answer is. Because a lot of what I'm seeing now is this person asks a question and I answer it, and then only that person gets the question, gets the answer, versus sharing it with you guys. So today we have another question, and we want to thank Ashley. What's up, girl? How you doing? Um, and now I want y'all to be nice to Ashley because she completely butchered the name. She was off a letter. My name is Ugo, not Uzo, and we missed a G and a Z. And I really tried to I tried really hard to sympathize with her, right? I tried to, put myself in her shoes, but I'm looking at my keyboard, looking at the computer keyboard, and G is nowhere near mother freaking Z, right? So it's not even it's not even like it's close. It's not. It's not even close. And then I look on my phone keyboard and G and Z are also not close. So all I could do is all I could say in her defense is maybe it autocorrected, right? So no harm done. So it says, "Hi Ugo, these videos are great and very informative." Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. I have a question that maybe you could address in a video, or maybe you already answered it somewhere and can point me in the right direction. Do you know if when you get a house on tax sale, do you also inherit any other liens that may be on the house, such as a mortgage, HELOC, or utility company liens? Thanks in advance. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and answer her questions and break it down the way we normally do. So before we dive into it, I want to let everyone know that there are two types of sales, right? There is the tax lien and tax delinquent sheriff sales, and then there is the mortgage foreclosure sheriff sales. So there are two type of liens. I think the tax lien, the tax lien and tax delinquent sales, I think they're two a month, so two a piece. It gives you four, and then the mortgage one, I believe, is nope, I am doing that all wrong. I'm not even gonna try and guess. I'm gonna actually go to the website and show y'all what it is. What it is, man. What's good? So let's do it. I think it's all right. So you got a mortgage foreclosure, tax delinquent, tax collection, tax collection, tax collection, tax collection, tax lien, tax cert. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't go to all of them. So there's two different ones. Just want to make sure that we're clear with that. Let's go back into presentation mode. Two different ones, right? So for the tax lien and tax delinquent ones, um, the way to really pick this apart is kind of understand what the property is being sold for. A tax delinquent sheriff sale allows the city to recapture unpaid municipal debt levied on properties located in the city, right? But it's not just taxes. These debts can include outstanding water and sewer bills, school district of Philadelphia taxes, or city property taxes, right? So it includes everything that's owed on the property when it's coming due to tax and the tax delinquent sales, right? So with that's description in mind, there aren't, when you buy from the tax lien, it's free and almost clear, right? So you're supposed to be able to buy a tax lien and tax delinquent property and not have anything come back at you. All liens should be wiped off from that, right? Whether it is a mortgage or whatever the case may be, everything should be wiped off from that. And that's how it is, right? The reason I say almost is because we don't live in a perfect world and things do fall through the cracks, right? So there's been issues where, pick up something from the cell and then boom, there is a balance on it. Oh, the water bill is such and such. Now, homie, we bought this from the sheriff's cell. Now I got to go downtown and go through the whole process of clearing it and starting brand new, all that type of stuff. Um, and it happens, it definitely happens, but in practice, in theory, the answer is for tax liens and tax delinquent sales, you should not. You should be able to walk into walk into it free outside of what you had to pay to get it. One of the reasons why I say almost clear is because one of the caveats to this property is someone is a right of redemption. Right of redemption says owner has 9 months before they can come back for the property, and then they can get the property back by paying you what you bought the property for plus 10%. So if I bought the property for 50,000, the owner would have to pay me, or the previous owner who lost it, the person who lost the property, would have to come back and pay me 5,500 because 10% of 50,000 is 5,000, and 50 plus 5,000 gives me $55,000. So that would be what would need to happen. And then I did a indentation where we talked about code-related violations versus non-code related violations. So this is a toss-up, and you can call down to the city for verification. But supposedly, if you've already started doing work on a property, right, and you've kept your receipts and you've kept proper documentation of the cost of materials, you have receipts from the invoice, you have proof that you made the payments. If you keep a solid paper trail on your renovations, they will also have to reimburse you for that as well. The toss-up, and the reason I have this code-related versus non-code related, is supposedly, and again, I haven't been able to verify this 100%, supposedly, if it's a code-related renovation, like if there are violations on file and the work that you did was to address that violation, then that has to be refunded back to you on top of what your purchase price plus the 10%, right? And if it's a non-code related renovation, then you just lose out, right? Which sucks, but that's the debate, right? There's a debate saying, well, only code related renovations can be reimbursed if you have a solid paper trail. And then they're saying, nah, all renovations are going to be reimbursed so long as you keep solid paper trails. And the only advice that I could tell you is kind of split the middle and just make sure you keep documented paper trail. Keep a solid paper trail of everything, and you should be in a safe, right? For me, when I buy from the sheriff sales, I really just let the properties sit, or if it's something that I can rent out, I'll put a tenant in there, 1 year lease, and just focus on collecting rent. And then when it's time to sell it, just go back in, redo it over, and get it rolling, right? Or sometimes I'll just leave the property vacant. If it's something that's going to need a lot of work, then I will just secure the property, board it up, put like some type of, get the electricity up and running, put a security system in there, and just kind of rock out, you know what I mean? And just drive by the property constantly, get the glass, get the grass cut and all that stuff. I would maintain it until we get closer to, if I know, all right, well, this renovation is probably going to take me 2 months, then right around when we get into the right around when we get to after month 9, I would probably wait another month and then start renovation so that I will be done the property right around the time that a year comes back from the anniversary when I bought the property. And of course, again, I keep a very clean paper trail of everything, copy of all receipts, invoices, proof that the payments were made, all that stuff, right? And then also, everyone should know this, and I want to reiterate it now. You will not have a clean title on this property, right? You won't be able to get title insurance on this property. And because you can't get title insurance on this property, you can't do anything like taking out a home equity line of credit on the house. You really can't do anything, can't use the house as any type of collateral. I'm sorry about that. I just came out of nowhere. You can't use that property as any type of collateral when you go to apply for any type of mortgage or loan because it's not insured. You don't have title insurance on the property, so the bank won't touch it. And you have to wait for a year from when you purchase the property in order to be able to get proper title insurance and then revisit the banks and take it from there. So just things that just things like that. All right. So that's pretty much a brief overview for tax lien and tax delinquent. Now, let's shift over to the mortgage foreclosure and sheriff sales. A mortgage foreclosure sheriff sale allows mortgage companies and really anyone that has any type of, it's not even just mortgage companies and other financial institution groups, it's anyone that has interest in the property, right? So it could be a note holder. I mean, it could really just be anyone, right? And recouping lending debts primarily in this instances where a homeowner defaults on his or her mortgage payment. At a sale, the bidding price of the property of the foreclosed property starts at the outstanding loan amount of the property, right? Is that always true? Not too sure, right? I don't go through every single property and check to make sure, you know what I mean? Like I just go through the ones that I'm interested in. I think that buying from the mortgage foreclosure is a great way, and a lot of people go there. It's a pricier arena to be in, but things that are not, let me take a step back. It's a pricier arena to begin with because they're not starting at the $1,500 amount that you do at a sheriff sale. They're starting from whatever is owed on the property. So if there's 40,000 owed, then boom, we start at 40,000. And that's beneficial. This is beneficial because if you're buying if something is in an area where it's worth 150, 160, 175 once the renovations are done, and you're able to buy it for 40 or maybe 50,000, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? You're in good shape. You're in good shape, and that's one of the benefits of, tax lien sales and mortgage foreclosure sales also. So, but with these, you do not, it is not free. It is not free at all, right? There will be issues that you will inherit from picking up the property. I'm back. So anyways, let's just pick up where I left off in regards to the mortgages. The mortgage foreclosure sheriff sales, they're not free and clear, right? You might have outstanding taxes, you might have a second mortgage. I mean, there might be other things that are going to be attached to that, and that's why it's a little bit difficult when you go through and get everything done. However, one of the things that always is different is with the mortgage, you don't have to wait for that redemption period, right? So once you buy it, you can go in and get the ball rolling. And if you go in and you do renovations and you're done in 2 months, boom, you can put it back on the market for sale. Versus the tax lien, you got to wait almost a year before you can put it up for sale because you need to be able to insure it. Unless someone's going to be buying the property for cash, you need to be able to insure it. That's why a lot of people that do the tax foreclosures, they're only buying it for two things. I mean, a lot of people that do this, people like me, only buying it for two things. Number one, you'll buy it and then you'll wholesale it, right? So let's say you get a property under contract, and I used to do this a lot back then. I did really well. You'd get something under you'd lock it up for you got, let's say a winning bid is, let's say, I don't know, $27,000, right? Get it locked up, put it on trend, and sell it for $37,000. Walk away with 10 grand, and I'm a gangster, so I'll even get my commission on it on top of that. So that was cool. You know what I mean? And it's because you have 30 days to pick it up. I may never even pay the full thing. So once I know that it's under contract and we're going to settlement, I'll go down, tie it up, pay everything off, make sure the deed is in my name. Then I'll, you know what I mean? And sometimes depending on the title company I use, I didn't even have to didn't even have to get it in my name. You know what I mean? Just it was just a paper hustle where now this person is stepping in to buy the property on my behalf, And I don't think they allow that anymore because I haven't done that in years. But you can definitely wholesale. Sheriff sale properties, and that's one of the things that I do. And then the second thing that I did was I would just keep it as a rental. I have no intentions of selling this, so I'm not worried if a lender is going to come in, do whatever, right? That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. I'll just put a tenant in there, get the cash flow, and then once the property, once we're past that 1 year benchmark, then we go and find a title company that's going to insure it. Once you get the insurance on it, now we go to a lender, cash out refinance, get the cash back for what I paid to buy it, plus what I put into renovations, hopefully, and now we move on to the next one. right? So that's typically what happens. I hope you guys understand that. But one of the things I will say on top of this is to make sure that you still do your research. All this stuff is constantly changing. You know what I mean? The sheriff's sale has changed several times since when I first started to what it is now. You know what I mean? So always be diligent, always be on top of your stuff. And the website for in Philadelphia is office of Philadelphia Sheriff's.com. Right, that is the website. It's a great website. They even have seminars of how to buy your first sheriff sale property and things like that. And dude, I'm lazy. What I do is I call this number, these two numbers, call them constantly. Constantly. I got a question, boom, I call and they answer. I got a question, boom, I call them and they answer. And sometimes they don't answer, you know what I mean? So best advice I would say is to hit them up in the morning. Hit them up in the morning. And they're really good. I've really had a good relationship with them. They answer my questions. I'm always informed in regards to what's going on. And I'm completely at peace with this department. And I wish them many more years to continue what they're doing because I think it's definitely an awesome avenue of getting neighborhoods back to where they're performing, right? If you look at delinquent properties as people, as non-paying uh, occupants, right? Because they're not able to collect, the city of Philadelphia is not able to collect tax revenue from that. And you got to think that one of the biggest sources of revenue is probably going to be from real estate taxes. The more property owners we have that are paying those property taxes, the better the city becomes. So they're actually doing a great thing for each and every person, each and every property owner in regards to the appreciation of value on your property. So love, love, love what they're doing. Keep on doing it, man. I will be very happy the day that there aren't any delinquent properties in Philadelphia. That would be awesome. You know how high all the property values are going to be? No boarded buildings in Philly. Everything's good. Every property has a person in there that is current on everything. Man, it'd be fantastic. So, yeah, but anyways, just make sure you do your due diligence. I'm here to serve. I don't want everyone. I never want anyone to look at me as a guru or whatever the case may be and take what I'm saying as gospel. I want you to say, all right, this guy has experience. He's done it. I understand what he's saying, but let me verify and make sure that his experience is going to be the same as my experience, and that's for all my videos, right? I am not a tax lien expert. I am not a mortgage sell expert. You know what I mean? I don't work for the Philadelphia Sheriff's Sales Office. Just a guy, one of many that go down there and try to win my luck. You know what I mean? It's like the casino for us. I'm not addicted to gambling, but I am definitely addicted to real estate, and that's just what I do, and I love it. And trying my best to push out content for those of you who are trying to get into it. I think Sheriff's Sale is a great place to start, but I think you definitely want to make sure you understand the risks of it and just kind of taking it from there. Um, I think one of the number one things to understand is like, yo, you can't get in these properties sometimes. I say sometimes because I'm a gangster. I'll break into a house. Don't, you know what I mean? Like when I was being brought up, a lot of my mentors would just bust into bust into these houses. Just break a window, hop in, see what they got to see, and then hop out. Right now, is that illegal? Yes, it is completely illegal. Completely illegal. And I'm not going to name drop my mentors, but that's what they did to get in to see the properties. I don't recommend that you guys do that. I think you try to get as diligent, as detailed as you can. I've put videos up where you guys see me. I get out the car, I'm walking around, I'm talking to the neighbors. I'm going to the back, I'm going to the backyard. I'm going through the neighbor's backyard, hopping the fence into this backyard, hopping back over to the neighbor's backyard, going in the alleyways, going there at different times of nights. I mean, it really is one of the toughest things I think about sheriff sales is vetting the properties. You know what I mean? It's been times where it'd be a property on the list. You go through the property and, oh, they done demoed this drone? Okay, cool. Or you go to the property, man, this looks great on Google Maps. You get there and the back is missing. The back is just gone. I remember one time I went into a house and it looked great. Look through the window, there is no second floor. Like there's nothing there. It's just four walls and a roof. Legit. There's no second floor. I don't know what happened or what caved in something, but there was no second floor. Now I remember one time was another property. pulled up on this joint. I'm excited because it's in my area, it's in my hood. I'm loving it, I'm loving it, I'm loving it. And I'm going through around and I'm like, man, this is nice, this is nice. And then I don't know what happened, but from a certain angle, the sun was shining through the window. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell is that? How is the sun shining through this window? And as I did further examination, I realized like, oh, house ain't got no roof. There's no roof on the property. So, you just got to go out and do due diligence. You know what I mean? And nothing's ever gonna beat that. You always want to be able to say, I'll stand on the information that I went and received, that I went and verified, versus just watching the video on YouTube. So yeah, I want to point you in the right direction, but then I need you to make moves and go and finish out the rest of that. If I say, yo, make a right here, you got to take my word and make that right. But, if you're not moving, how you gonna ever make the right? You know what I mean? Take the direction and then run with it, but verify. All right. So that's it. You know what I mean? That's all I got for today. Any other questions, comments, concerns, please drop them. I think the best way to do it is just to email me in this section, somewhere in the subject line, put YouTube or coming from YouTube, whatever the case may be, just so I know that it's coming from YouTube and we can, take it from there. But as always, I appreciate y'all watching, appreciate y'all commenting, liking, subscribing, all this stuff that, everyone on YouTube needs to see in order to grow their channel and take it from there. So really appreciate all the help that you guys give me, all the support. A lot of times some people make videos and then we don't know if it ever goes out to anyone because there's no feedback. So it's always good to get the feedback from you guys. And the sheriff cell is like my #1 video. I don't know what it is, but sheriff cells are super popular and they do work. But again, I don't want to downplay how difficult it is. It's difficult. You know what I mean? You are buying these properties and, without fully seeing the inside of it, you got to just estimate for some renovations. I think it's where a lot of people miss out. They think, oh, it's a cheap property. Yes, purchase price is cheap, but maybe now you got to put $60,000, $70,000 into it to bring it back to order, bring it back to life. You know what I mean? I've bought properties for $10,000. It sounds good until I realized, until my contractor said, "Yo, yeah, the budget is 80." All right, well now that means I bought it for 90,000. So I probably would have been better buying a property for maybe 30,000, and that I only needed 30,000 renovations, right? So these are things that a lot of people are not understanding. Or maybe I see something on trend, you know what I mean? Maybe I see something for sale online, right? And it's listed for 40,000, and I'm able to get it for 30,000, and that property only needs maybe 50,000 in renovations. Well, that's a lot cheaper than having to put 80,000, than buying it for 10,000, but having to put 80 into it. If I'm able to buy it for 40,000 and I only need to put another 40 into it, right? So it's just allocation of capital. That's it. You know what I mean? Allocation of capital and what's going to work best, right? For me right now, what's going on is a lot of my properties, like for real, are coming off a trend. I'm looking at properties that have been on the market for a really long time. I'm looking at properties that hit the market right away. I put the offer in right away, see if I can snatch it up before the competition comes. And that's kind of like just what I've been doing. You know what I mean? For me, it makes a lot of sense. I get a commission as a real estate agent. I know that the title is free and clear. I do whatever the hell I want to do with the property, rinse and repeat. So that's what's going on. But if you're not in the situation that if you're not in the situation that I am in, but you do have the cash to buy something and also pull the trigger on the renovations, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Just be mindful that when you're buying these properties for 10, 20, 30, $40,000, it's probably going to need 40, 50, $60,000 worth of work. So you have to budget for the buying. You have to also have to budget for the renovations. I had a conversation with someone last week, and they just felt, they said, oh, I got a line of credit for 30,000. I'm about to go hit the sheriff's sale up, buy something, fix it, and then sell it. I'm like, wait, how? How are you buying it and renovating it with $30,000? Like, what are we talking about here, right? Because I guess I should probably put this picture up. Because what happened, this is from my experience, right? If you go down to the sheriff's sale and you're buying something, let's say for 10, 15, $20,000, it means you only got 10 left for renovations. Like, what are you gonna do with 10 grand on the renovations? Unless you're a contractor and you do all the work yourself, I don't see how the hell you're gonna pull that off. A kitchen by itself, if I'm gonna go in and redo a kitchen's gonna cost me maybe let's say 4 grand to be a cheap ass kitchen, 4 grand. bathroom's gonna cost me $4 grand. I'm at $8,000 already. Haven't touched electrical, haven't touched plumbing. I don't got new windows. I don't got a new roof. You know, haven't touched the floors. Haven't painted anything. I don't have new doors, new handles. Like, you know, I just don't know how you're going to be able to pull that off. Let's say you buy a house for 10,000 and then you put 20,000 into it, right? Let's run the numbers on 20,000. You got 4,000 for a kitchen, 4,000 for a bathroom. We're at 8. New roof probably going to cost you 3,000, right? So 4 and 4 is 8 plus the 3, we're at 12, right? Maybe all new windows. All new windows might cost you $4,000. So now we're at 12 plus the 4, we're at 16, right? And maybe you do new electrical. New electrical might cost you 4. Now that's all your money. All your money is gone. You haven't touched the floors. You haven't touched plumbing. You haven't painted anything. You still don't got new doors. You don't have new doorknobs. House is still gonna look a mess. Now, granted that there are some things that you touched up on, house is still gonna look a mess, right? We ain't even talk about heating system. You don't got a heating system in there. We ain't talk about any type of HVAC. You got radiators. You got. There's so many things that people just kind of like don't even really sit down and think about. Right now, for all my projects, I don't think I've put less than 50,000 into a property, regardless of what price I'm buying it at. I don't think I've put less than 50,000 in a property. Now, I am not a slumlord. I go in and my products are polished. It looks great. No, I'm not throwing granite countertops in there. I'm not doing quartz. My floors are not bamboo. You know what I mean? I don't have a jet tub. You know, none of that. But the product is quality. New roof, all new windows, newer floors, new plumbing, new electrical, new bathroom, new kitchen. So when I sell something or when I rent something out, it's quality. You know what I mean? The product speaks for itself, man. Tenants come with me and they don't leave until they stuck for like 6 years. I got tenants for 6 years. They didn't already pay for the house. You know what I mean? I love it. Right? But that's because you gotta put a quality product out. And in order to put a quality product, you gotta put yourself in a position where you know what you're doing. So people and that's the message I gave to this client that did a consulting session. She's like, yeah, I'm trying to do 30. I'm like, look, babe, that's not enough, man. I want you to succeed. That's not enough. You know, you might get lucky. People always get lucky, but that's not the norm, right? That's why they call it luck. That's not the norm, right? What is the norm for me is I'm always budgeting at least 50 grand on projects. So if 70% is what I do, so if I'm buying in, a 70% rule is the rule that I follow. So let me explain what that is. If the after repair value of a house is 100,000, 70% of 100,000 is 70,000. So my all-in number is 70,000, right? If I always budget for 50,000 renovations, that means I can't pay more than 20,000 for the property, right? And so long as I focus on that model, I got a 30% spread when shit hits the fan, right? Right? That's it. It's very, very simple how I run the game. I don't really try to take real, there's risk involved in it, of course, but you try to mitigate the risk and you rock and roll, right? So, that's just what I do. And I really want y'all to do the same thing, but you got to go in knowing what you're doing. And my hope is that these videos are getting you step by step closer to where you can see the things the way that I see it. Not actually, no, I'll recant that statement where you can see things better than I'm seeing it. You know what I mean? You're doing better than me. You took what I took. You don't have to go through the obstacles, the hurdles that I went through. You take what I take. You overstep the obstacles and you get to a bigger level, bigger portfolio, massive amounts of money on a cash flow level, massive amounts of money on a net flip, quicker and faster than I did. That's fantastic. So that's that. I don't want to, we're hitting the 30-minute mark, and I just want to end on that note. As always, to y'all, to your success, I want to see all you kings and queens successful as it pertains to leveraging real estate to create wealth and create financial freedom and to be able to take care of your loved ones. That's what I do all of this for. And, appreciate everyone that's kind of just rocking and rolling and supporting the journey. And, yeah, so that's that. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.